everyone, it's Pete. We've got Nelly with us today, and I wanted to do a video today just talking about what to expect from other people, members of the public, when you're out with your Bullmastiff, whether you're thinking of getting a Bullmastiff puppy, you know, what to expect as they grow and they get bigger, because there can be some, let's say, funny reactions to them, or people that are a bit wary of them. So I just wanted to talk about some of our experiences and how we deal with it and things that we've noticed over the years. So obviously they are a big breed. They're on the upper end of sizes of dogs, and large breeds in the UK, on the whole, numbers are declining. Smaller breeds are going up, but large breeds in general are declining, and especially Bullmastiffs, they're definitely declining. You know, there's less and less of them being bred every year. There's less puppies being born every year. They're just, yeah, they're becoming a very specialised and rare breed. So because of that, not many people are going to be used to seeing them, and we've definitely had some interesting reactions from people. You know, you'll tend to get three kinds of people that you come across. You'll get the people that are just indifferent, but they might be indifferent to dogs anyway, so they'll just ignore them. You'll get the people that love them. You know, they'll say, oh wow, is that a Bullmastiff? I've not seen one for ages. You know, a relative might have had one years ago. You know, they might have had one when they were a child and it's the first time seeing one for a long time. Or you'll get people that just love big dogs anyway. And then you'll get the kind of people who might be a bit intimidated or a bit scared of Bullmastiffs. And they can fall into different categories as well. You know, there's people that might have had bad experiences with large breed dogs, which is understandable, that they might be a bit wary. But then once they meet them and interact with them, you know, they're sort of put at ease and they're a bit more relaxed. Or you'll get other people who are just scared or intimidated because they've just got it in the head that they might be a dangerous breed or they need to be wary of them. You know, we've even had instances where we've got a local farm shop where they allow pets in, and the staff there are great. You know, we take ours in for socialisation, or, you know, just a bit of stimulation to walk them around somewhere different, and the staff love them. But there was one staff member a couple of weeks ago who, I can't remember who it is we went in with, I think it was Foxy, and she sort of looked at him as if to say, you know, hello, I'm here. Not intimidating, positive body language, tail wagging, and he near enough jumped behind the counter and recoiled. You know, and I have to laugh because I've been in that farm shop before, and the owner's got a couple of gun dogs. Not as big as Bullmastiffs, but fairly big. And he walks around with them off lead. They just walk around the shop, and, you know, they came over to me. Hello, baby, hello. I know, Nelly. They came over to me, so I sort of put out the back of my hand for them to smell me, and, you know, one of them growled at me and jumped back. And you think, well, nobody's ever got that kind of reaction from one of our dogs, but because of how Bullmastiffs look, you're probably going to get some interactions like that. You know, and it's very important that it's dealt with correctly, as much as you might want to, and as much as we want to. You might want to react or say something to the person, but if you can, we just tend to ignore them and just crack on, really. Yeah, just not stooping down to that level, because The other thing that's happened, obviously most people will be aware of the XL bully ban in this country, and we've had a couple of people that have shouted across the road. Not so much now because it's died down a little bit, but when it was a big issue and they actually got banned in the few weeks after that, we had a couple of people that shouted, you shouldn't be out with them, basically mistaking Bullmastiffs for XL bullies, which, if you know dogs and you know what you're looking at, you would never get a Bullmastiff mixed up with an XL bully. But if you're scared and you're worried about it, I could maybe see how a large dog and, it'd be intimidating and you might mistake them for an XL bully. So you might get those kinds of people as well. But that's also why it's so important to get if you are getting a puppy, put a lot of work into socialisation, put a lot of work into making that dog comfortable being around people, making sure that they are happy to be in public places and that, they're used to being around people of all ages, children, young children, teenagers, middle-aged, old people, the behaviour as well. They're not jumping up at people, they're not diving all over. That'll go a long way towards putting people's minds at ease. But it's just overall making sure that you're prepared for it, because it's unfortunate, but it does happen. And I've spoke about it before, but you should always be advocating for your pets. But there's an extra layer that comes with it, with owning Bullmastiffs. People are always gonna, some people are always gonna think a certain way and look at you a certain way because you've got a large dog. I can't count the amount of times that we've been walking our dogs and someone on the opposite side of the road's walking something like a Jack Russell or a Cockapoo or a Westie, those small breed dogs, which, I love all dogs. It's just that Bullmastiffs are our favourites, but, those small dogs will be on the back legs, barking. Ours will just walk right past them and ignore them. It wouldn't be acceptable. It absolutely wouldn't be acceptable if one of ours was doing that to somebody. If we were out with one of our Bullmastiffs and they reacted the way that those small dogs do, we'd probably have the police round to us, asking us some questions. So yeah, it's just something to bear in mind. We don't want to put people off from potentially owning this breed. We don't. But from our point of view, because we also do rescue work, we also see a lot of the mistakes that people make with this breed. Nelly, come here, babe. Come on. We also see a lot of mistakes that people make with this breed, and we don't want people to fall into those traps. Our aim with this channel is to try and give people as much information as possible. We want to be truthful. We don't want to sugarcoat things and only talk about the positives and hide the difficult side or the difficult aspects, things that can be difficult about owning Bullmastiffs, because there are things, they're not a breed for everybody and they do require a lot of work. But we just want people to be informed so that they can go into it both eyes open and they know what to expect. So yeah. Hey Nelly, what do you think? You could just end up with a dog like Nelly, who's just perfect. If all Bullmastiffs were like Nelly, we'd probably have about 30 instead of 12, because she's just so easy. Everybody loves Nelly, everybody. But yeah, that's today's video, guys. I hope you got a bit of information out of it. We'll keep touching on different subjects and topics as we go along, but that was just something that we wanted to talk about today. and we'll be back later this week with another video. We're not sure what we're going to do it on yet. It might be another Meet the Gang or another subject matter video, but yeah, thanks for watching again, and we'll see you in the next one. You gonna say bye, Nelly? Are you gonna say bye? Yeah, she's a good girl. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.